Of course, people are quick to jump on demonstrations where the patsy is, or the uke, right, is just kind of standing still while the other guy goes to town on him. Right, because we all know that there's a huge difference between a static opponent and a live opponent. But oftentimes when we talk about, you need to, you need to worry about, or you need to work with a resisting opponent, oftentimes what that comes down to is somebody who is purely defensive. And while that can happen in moments of fights, there is actually a huge difference between an offensive, aggressive opponent and a defensive opponent. And that should be pretty obvious, but apparently it's not as obvious as it sounds. And there are going to be times where both are necessary to train with. You have to be able to deal with the overwhelm of a hardcore, forward-moving, aggressive opponent. You absolutely have to be able to train against that. But you also have to be able to train against the guy who's trying to stonewall you at every turn, or the guy who's running from you. Like there are so many different scenarios and contexts that you have to train. But it is much, much harder to pull off a move against somebody who is actively resisting your attempt to do a move than it is to do it against somebody who is on the offense and basically leaving themselves exposed. Because when you are being offensive, you're actually in some of your anatomically weakest places, postures, structures, however you want to say it, for defense. Just kind of is how it is because of how we're built. And so unless you're attacking from a very well covered line, you are quite exposed to offensive maneuvers, counter-offensive maneuvers. And so practicing your techniques, not just against somebody who is trying to thwart you, but also practicing against somebody who is trying his own offensive maneuver is going to be an important thing. You can't just do things versus somebody who's trying to stonewall you. You have to do it against somebody who's trying to attack you as well. You have to do it against somebody who's trying to play keep away, trying to run away from you. There are so many factors that you have to practice against. People get too stuck in, I found the key. And the fact is, the key is adaptability across a wide range of scenarios. And that's harder to do than it sounds. So, just keep training and keep mixing up the scenarios. If you're fighting somebody who very specifically uses a certain type of tactic, then you have to train versus that tactic to be successful against that opponent. But a lot of times you don't know anything about your opponent, or you don't know enough about your opponent, so you have to be able to be prepared for a lot of things. And that means counter offense, that means counter stonewalling, counter swarm of flies, just buzzing, but you can never get close to them. There's so many things. So I think that's enough for today. We'll talk later. Good journey. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share, give the dog a bone. You can follow us on our other social media accounts, and if you really like us, you can head over to Amazon and buy a shirt. You can also go over to Gumroad and purchase some of our instructional courses. All of the links will be provided and also on our website. If you happen to be in the Phoenix area, we would love to meet you. Come drop in for a class, even just to chat. And if you're looking for a new home, we would be happy to have you. So until next time, good journey.